Listened to the arguments on the other side at several hearings, and we heard them articulated specifically by one of the other senators in the earlier panel. And he said, let's not rush into this too quickly. 2 years ago, a member of the United States House of Representatives, one of our own, was shot point blank in the face in Tucson, Arizona. We didn't even hold a hearing on that. Don't rush into this too quickly. When you look at what's happening in city after city across the United States, we're not rushing into this too quickly. We're coming in too late for a lot of these victims. So I disregard that immediately. The second and third point made by some arguing against this effort, laws aren't going to solve all the problems. And many people will just disregard whatever we do. Well, I think we all concede that no law is going to solve all the problems. And even, we realize even today, people are speeding on highways despite laws saying they shouldn't. Does that mean we don't try? We don't make an effort at this? But the thing that bothered me the most was the argument is we have to take care and be careful to protect the rights of law-abiding citizens. To protect the rights of law-abiding citizens. Mr. Heslin, I walked into the room here when that video was on, and there were people up there using AR-15s, spraying targets with bullets. And flashed on the screen right after one of them was the word fun. And I thought about that. And I thought about your rights and Jesse's rights as a law-abiding citizen, to be safe in a schoolroom in Newtown, Connecticut. What about the rights of the law-abiding citizens who wear uniforms every day, the men and women in law enforcement who get up and put their lives on the line for us? What about their rights? Don't they have rights at least equal to these rights under the Second Amendment? I think that's what Heller said. Heller said this isn't an absolute right. And sadly, Professor Johnson, I've been through law schools a long, long time ago, and law professors can really kind of dance around the top of a head of a pin. But when I listen to you and Mr. Hardy describe the Second Amendment, it's a suicide pact. Because by your definition, what has become common in America is unacceptable in a civilized country. What has become common, what has been common in America...
I made a very different point, Senator.
I'll tell you what, the point I want to make is this. If it is common in America to have a military assault weapon with a 100-round magazine, if that is common for self-defense in America, God save this country.
I made a point about your...
Say this in conclusion. I believe this chairman has made a good faith effort. If you take a look at the number of weapons that are an exception to her categories here, there is no law-abiding sportsman or hunter or person who wants a gun for self-defense who will be left unarmed under the Second Amendment in Illinois or in any place in the United States.
Those guns are actually more deadly than the
AR-15.
AR-15. That's the point.
You know, the point I'm making here is there's ample opportunity for applying the Second Amendment, and the Heller Court said we can be reasonable in drawing these standards. And the last point I'll make, Representative Adams, this is not feel-good legislation. I'm sorry you used that phrase in your statement testimony. I don't feel good about being here today. Mr. Heslin doesn't feel good about being here today. We are trying to make this country safe, and we're giving our best efforts to do that.
And Senator